Today, we're talking about how to build something absolutely crucial, our emotional boundaries. Think of it like an invisible shield that protects our energy and our well-being. And by the end of this, you're going to have the blueprint. You know the feeling, right? You walk into a room, you're feeling pretty good, and then after just one conversation, you leave feeling heavy or frustrated or just completely wiped out. So what is actually going on there? Now look, we're not just talking about a friend having a bad day. That happens. We're talking about that constant, nagging pessimism, the nonstop complaining or criticism. It's the slow, subtle leak that drains your personal energy reserves. And if you've ever felt that drain, I want you to know it is not just in your head. It's a real thing. In fact, psychology has a name for this whole process, and it can totally shape your mood before you even realize what's happening. So how does this work? How can somebody else's mood have such a direct hit on our own? Well, the answer is in this really fascinating idea that explains why emotions can feel, well, so contagious. It's called emotional contagion. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Emotions can literally be passed from one person to another, almost like a cold. We just automatically, without thinking, start to mimic and then feel the emotions of people around us, from their facial expressions right down to their tone of voice. And this isn't just a flash in the pan. When you're constantly soaking in those negative attitudes, it does more than just ruin your afternoon. It can actually start to change the way you see the world and even drag down your own baseline mood over time. And the impact? It's totally clear. You can practically see it. You might start your day feeling great, your mood is way up here, but after being around that persistent negativity, boom, it takes a serious nosedive. That drop you feel, it's real. And we're not just talking about a temporary bad mood either. There are real actual costs to soaking up all that negativity without any kind of protection. So let's break down what that really costs you. The price is pretty high. First, it just zaps your mental energy, leaving you too tired to deal with your own stuff. It ramps up your stress levels, which leads to exhaustion. Over time, it can even make you more pessimistic. And get this, on a physical level, it can even trigger your body's stress response, which, as we know, has major long-term health effects. So here's the bottom line, the most important thing to get. Your emotional energy isn't an infinite well you can just keep dipping into. It is a limited resource. You have to manage and protect it, just like you would with your time or your money. Letting other people drain it has a direct cost. Okay, so what's the solution? How do we build that protective shield we talked about at the beginning? It all comes down to one really powerful tool: setting healthy emotional boundaries. But what does that actually look like? This part is so important. A lot of people get this wrong. Setting a boundary is not about rejecting people or being mean. It's not about building these giant, impenetrable walls around yourself. It is about making a conscious choice to protect your energy. It's about putting your own well-being first. And honestly, it's a huge act of self-respect. This quote just nails it perfectly. You're not rejecting the person, you're just creating a little space from a behavior that is dragging you down. Think of it as a smart, strategic move for your own mental health. So when you really boil it all down, building and holding on to these boundaries isn't selfish at all. It is a fundamental, absolutely necessary act of self-care. It's how you create an environment where you can actually thrive instead of just trying to survive. All right, let's recap the big ideas here. Number one, negativity is literally contagious. We know that now. It's called emotional contagion. Number two, putting a limit on your exposure is how you protect that finite energy source of yours. And finally, the most important part, creating these boundaries isn't mean, it's one of the best ways to show yourself some respect. And that leaves us with one final thought. As you go about your day, try to think about this not as something restrictive, but as something empowering. The question isn't just about whose negativity you should avoid, but whose energy is so valuable that it's worth protecting. And you can start with your own.